Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. All right, we are good to go. We are good to go. How's everybody doing today? Been out of the loop for a little while, but we are back. eSIM Studios podcast, mobile tech news, live stream here on a Friday, July 18th, 2025. It's a pleasure to have everybody in here with me today. Let me raise my seat a little bit. Look like a midget sitting in this damn chair. All right, there we go. How's everybody doing today? So, I got a couple of updates. Have a very interesting story in regards to Apple, in regards to a YouTuber getting sued by Apple. Very interesting story. Got some like 007 type of look and feel to that. Definitely have some very interesting details that Apple puts out, claims, shall I say. We'll jump into that, and then also we'll get into some Android 16 QPR1 Beta 3 updates with Pixels on my website posted. Basically a review of all the bugs that was squashed. I downloaded and installed the update on my Pixel 9 Pro XL yesterday. Wrote an article on the website. If you do have a Pixel, what you can expect when you install the update if you're on beta. Now this was a very I was looking forward to this update because this is one of the first betas that I have not had a good experience with. Normally everything's a-okay, right? With beta. That's why I've been in every beta for the last, I think I joined the beta program ever since they started it. Maybe Android 9, Android 10, something like that. This is probably the worst one, meaning just bugs, janky, jittery operating system. Not a fun experience, and I was really looking forward to this one. It's not completely, I would say it's not completely fixed, solved. I mean, it seems a little better. The performance is a little better. I did perform a benchmark test on it, and the scores seem to be a little bit better, so it just means they're just fine-tuning it right now. I think we're getting ready for the stable release, a stable build, probably in this next, I'm not sure when their update schedule is. I think it's September is when they're supposed to put out the stable build, so we'll definitely look out for that. Miami Mail, what's going on, brother? I'm glad you're here. You got that case I sent you, correct? I think you did. I think everybody got them, except I think the one in the Netherlands is still getting sent out, and I think the one in India is still getting sent out. So check this out. So why don't we jump into, no problem. You're definitely welcome. Why don't we jump into this YouTuber that's getting sued? So there's a YouTube channel now, and I'm gonna throw a different angle at this. We're gonna go through what Apple's accusing this YouTuber of doing. And I remember I used to watch his live streams. He has a weekly podcast, sort of like this, where they talk about main events in the tech world. It's more specifically geared towards Apple, and they do it only once a week. But I remember seeing this specific episode, and for a split second, I didn't know this was going to unfold. Obviously, nobody did. But I remember. But if you play with Apple, they will come after you. They banned me. Right now, they haven't sued me. At least I don't think so. I haven't had anybody serve me. But they blocked my iCloud account after posting, and as y'all know, so in this video, I think I added Apple in this video. If I didn't, I'll double check once we're done with this and add Apple. So when I make a video in regards to Apple, if they're a main topic, I'll at Apple, right? You put the @ symbol, and then you can @ whoever you want. And for a Mega Samsung video, right? I'll @ Samsung or nothing or OnePlus. And I made a video when the Nothing Phone 2 came out. Remember their messaging system that they were going to allow you? It was a Nothing messaging app, a system app for that Nothing put out, where you could message an iPhone only with a Nothing phone. And I think it was through Sunbird, I believe, that the Sunbird application that would allow you to any Android phone, well, the Sunbird app, but this specifically was from a Nothing phone and the Nothing messaging app. You could message an iPhone user and it would come through like you're messaging that iPhone user with another iPhone, not with an Android, right? It would show up in the messages as a green bubble, or no, as a blue bubble, excuse me, instead of a green bubble, like if you're messaging from an Android. And boom, Apple shut that down literally in one day. They released the app. I reviewed it the next day. It was shut down. I guarantee you they, behind the scenes, threatened Nothing and Carl Pei with a lawsuit. That's probably why they killed it. Now, in that video that I made showing you how to set up your phone, I even showed how it works. Had a friend with an iPhone that I was messaging with. Everything worked fine. That iCloud account that I unfortunately showed in that video, setting out how to set up your device, boom, it's blocked. It's blocked to this day. It won't sign in, and I still can't sign in. Now, I found a workaround, which I'm not going to tell you how I did because they'll probably block that, but they're very, very particular. Now, getting back to this YouTuber, I'm not surprised they did this. I remember this episode showing, so what he did, and let me pull up this article. So I wrote this article on my website. Now the link is in the description box below. So this is the article, liquid ass, right? Because that's what it is, and it is liquid ass. iOS 26 is pure ass. They've scaled that back so it's not so hard to look at because it's so transparent. It's hard to see menus, it's hard to see selections, it's hard to see the foreground, the background. Everything just looks like one window with a bunch of crap thrown on it. Now they scaled that back, meaning it's not so transparent because it was such a drastic change, everybody was freaked out. Now before this was released, the YouTuber, I'm going to click on this article and tell me if you've seen this guy. His name is John Prosser. John Prosser. This is his YouTube channel is FTP. That's his YouTube channel name. This is the guy right here. And his YouTube channel or his podcast name is the Genius Bar Podcast. It's strictly Apple based. Now, when you say Apple fanboy, this guy John and his co-host are the definition of an Apple fanboy. They joke, they laugh amongst each other about how they just buy any Apple product that's put out, even if the product sucks, even if it's mad expensive, even if it has bad reviews, just any Apple product they buy, they say, here, take my money. In fact, they laugh about that, right? I'm not that way. I'm a Nothing fanboy. I'm a Samsung fanboy. I'm a huge Pixel fanboy. However, I'm not just gonna buy anything because the Nothing Phone 3, perfect example. Every single one of y'all that are subscribed to my channel knew for the last 6 months I was so giddy about the Nothing Phone 3. I said, I'm getting it. It was so hideous, so ugly looking. I saw it and I said, hell no, I'm not gonna buy that. I'm not just gonna throw my money away. Thing's ugly as hell. These guys, total opposite. Oh, gotta have it. They joke about this, right? And I'm gonna tell you how crazy this story is. So I have everything written down. I tried to write it down, and I'm not gonna read everything from start to finish. I'm gonna briefly breeze through it, but you're gonna want to hear. This is like some 007 type stuff. Like, I read the details, and I was like, holy shit, this is crazy. Like, I see why Apple's suing him. Now, the lawsuit has been filed in California state court. So check this out. I actually have the lawsuit right here. United States District Court, Northern District of California. Apple Inc. is the plaintiff, and the defendant is Michael Ramifications and John Prosser. So John Prosser is the YouTuber. He's the Genius Bar host, podcast host. Now, who is this Michael Ramifications guy? Well, that's his asset, shall we say. You know how CIA, they have CIA spies, and then they have assets, right? So if you're not familiar with the intelligence world, they'll go out, find somebody that has information or has somebody close to that person that they can get information from, right? So let's say John Prosser is the CIA agent, and let's say Michael Ramifications is the CIA asset, somebody you can go recruit, somebody you can go persuade, maybe with some monetary funds, whatever the case is. John Prosser kind of had the help of Michael Ramifications. So let's get back to the offense. So Apple is suing John Prosser, the host of the Genius Bar, because he leaked in this episode, I think it was maybe 6 months ago, right? It was before iOS Liquid Ass was put out to the public. And I remember watching this. I was thinking, damn, how does he have a copy of iOS already? Like, he had screenshots, he had screen recordings of iOS 26, right? Nobody else did. And I was like, how the hell? And he was showing it on his podcast. As you can tell, that screenshot right there, just about, I think, a few minutes worth of going through the operating system, each system app, the settings, messaging, calls, FaceTime, complete redesign. This is about 6 months ago, so way before iOS 26 is put out. Well, he had the help of his asset, Michael, of getting this content. So Apple's upset at John here that you see for showing this before its release. Now, Apple is suing him under the, Apple is suing him for misappropriation of trade secrets under the Defend Trade Secrets Act, 18 USC 1836. And then also violation of the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, 18 USC 1030. So let me tell you how John got a hold of a pre-release of iOS 26. So Apple's complaint outlines what it claims is the series of events that led to these leaks, which is some 007 type of storyline. So it's centered around a development iPhone in the possession of Ramifications' friend and Apple employee Ethan Lipnick. So you have John, the podcast host, you have his friend or asset, Ramifications. Now, Ramifications' friend is an Apple employee and works with Apple, right, in the developer department. So, in his name, the Apple employee, Ethan Lipnick. So, according to Apple, John, the podcast host, and his asset, Ramifications, plotted to access Lipnick's phone, the Apple employee's phone, without the Apple employee knowing, acquiring his passcode, and then using location tracking tactics, dare I say, an Apple AirTag, to determine when he would be away from his home and from that phone. Crazy, right? So John, the podcast host, reportedly offered financial compensation to his asset, Ramifications, in return for assisting with accessing the development iPhone and its operating system. Apple says Ramifications the asset, accessed Lipnick's developmental iPhone and made a FaceTime call to John Presser. Now, remember, this is when Lipnick, the Apple employee, is not at home. So he had to break in this Apple employee's home and gain access to this unreleased iPhone with this iOS liquid ass 26 on it. Apple says Ramicati accessed Lipnick's development iPhone and made a FaceTime call to John, the podcast host, showing off iOS 26 running on the development iPhone. And that John recorded the call with screen capture tools. John, the podcast host, then shared those videos with others on that podcast episode, on a following podcast episode, and used them to make recreated renders of iOS 26 for his videos. Lipnick's phone, the Apple employee, his phone contained a significant amount of additional Apple trade secrets and information that has not yet been made publicly or disclosed yet. Apple says it does not know how much of that information, of that private Apple information, is in the possession of John and his asset, Ramicati. Now, in order to protect trade secrets, Apple has filed the lawsuit to request an injunction against further disclosure of Apple's confidential trade secret information, and they're seeking damages over the misappropriation of them. Lipnick's employment with Apple has already been terminated over this failure to follow company policy to protect developmental and unreleased devices and software. Lipnick also failed to disclose the breach to Apple once he learned of it through others who recognized his apartment in the recorded FaceTime call, with Apple learning of the details from an anonymous email. Holy shit, this is crazy. So, Apple fired him because they're pissed off, even though it wasn't his fault. He had no idea what was going on. They still fired his ass. They're suing both the person that broke in the apartment. I'm surprised he'll probably see criminal charges for trespassing, breaking and entering, burglary. Along with these, I would not be surprised. And John, the podcast host, is obviously being sued as well. So these are major charges. These are felonies. Like, I don't know. I probably could look up the punishment if found guilty. It's probably going to be fines within the hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe million. I'm guessing hundreds of thousands. I don't know if it comes with any jail time. I wouldn't be surprised. If I were him, I would cut a deal and whatever you got to do to stay out of jail. But this is insane. If he's found guilty, look, he's got a pretty popular YouTube channel. I don't know how much money he's making on YouTube. Some of these big YouTubers are making millions of dollars per month. I think MKBHD makes, I think, $7 or $8 million per month. Some of these guys are making insane money, so they can pay a hefty fine. But I'll pay a fine. I just want to keep my ass out of jail. But that's insane. I was thinking, damn, because I don't give two shits about Apple, honestly. Like, I don't care about Apple. So I was putting myself in his shoes. I can't see myself doing this for a leak, right? Because that's all it was. He wanted to be the first to report on Apple's upcoming software, right? Like, I don't know. Everybody's different, but I can't see myself. I can't see myself. Okay, so let's say Samsung, they have Google in Samsung. I'm about an hour, 45 minutes away from Austin. They both have corporate offices in Austin. Say I had a friend that, lived in Austin and then had a friend that worked at Google, or let's say worked at Samsung, right? And he was like, yo, I got a buddy that works at he works in the software development team. Hey, I bet I could get access to his phone. Be like, I mean, okay, but like, I wouldn't press the issue. It'd be like, whatever. That stuff's not a big deal to me, right? I mean, I don't know. I just can't see myself doing this. But here's the real funny thing, and here's how brainwashed. I mean, here's how brainwashed these fanboys are. Even after, I guarantee you, even after being sued by Apple, even after possibly, dare I say, a couple months of jail, they are so brainwashed on Apple. Apple's going to screw them every which way from Saturday, and these guys are still going to use Apple iPhone, MacBook, iPads. Apple's going to screw them, and they're still going to be using Apple products. If I got screwed by Samsung like this, if I were in his shoes, and let's say it was Apple or it was Samsung, if this ever happened to me, you can bet I would never use their products again, ever. But they are super duper brainwashed, and I'm sure they're. If you've ever watched their episode, I think I did a clip. I think I made I'm not gonna find it. It's been a while, maybe 6, 7, 8 months. I made a clip of them and I posted it online, and I think the video was about fanboys. There's fanboys you can get, right, when it comes to any product, not just Apple. And we all know Apple has some crazy people. So just a very interesting case. I linked the story in the description box down below if you want to go read a more detailed occurrence, a more detailed overview of the situation. You certainly be my guest. It's on my website. I wrote the article. I'm going to be promoting my website a little more. I'm going to be adding more stuff to it. So please check out the website, Mobile Tech News, at mobiletech.news. Link is down in the description box below. Now, let's get into Pixel real quick, because since using... Now, if you are... Here's the weird thing. I got word. So the beta's got an update. I know I have a lot of Pixel users subscribed to the channel. If you're a Pixel user, and you're on the stable build, meaning you're not on the beta software, you're just running regular stable build, have you received the July update yet? Because I heard through the grapevine that there was no July update this year for stable build, which would be the first time in like 10 years there's no monthly update. So I didn't know if that was true or not. All the Pixel devices I have in this house are on beta program. So there's no way for me to check. If you have a Pixel and you're on the stable version, can you please comment and let me know if you have the July update available? I'm not talking about the Play system update. I'm actually talking about the software update, like what you're seeing right here, installing system update. I heard through the grapevine there was no July update. Now, again, that would be the first time in 10 years that's ever happened. And if you're wondering, well, how could that be? Well, I'm assuming they have all the bugs squashed, and there is no updating needed. Now, I don't plan on this happening too much longer or too many more times in the future. That's kind of unheard of, and that's why I haven't said anything, because I don't want to put that out there. Google's not updating the phones this month, because if they do push an update out, I'm going to look like the fool, right? So I don't know if they've updated the phones or not, but betas definitely got an update, which was very much needed. But stable version, I just don't know. What's going on, Brian? Appreciate you joining us today. Yeah, definitely catch the first part of the live, the first 20 minutes or so. That story's crazy. You can also click the link in the description box down below. It'll give you an oversight of what we just discussed. Let's see here. Companies don't care, Brian says. When something like this happens, someone's head has to roll. You're damn right. Holy crap, that's not good. My website's offline. What is going on? Well, that's working. All right, well, Android 16 QPR1 Beta 3 update. I think I have to update my... Let me see here. Let me go to my server. I'm using WordPress here. I'm in the process of actually developing a couple applications, so my content's kind of been slowed down a little bit on YouTube, but I'm not giving up, obviously. But my time has been wrecked with these apps trying to get these published. Apple is a stickler when it comes to publishing an app, so I got to be careful with what I say because I don't want them to screw me. Let's see here. Which one was that? That was the... Here we go. I think I got it. Let's save it. Let me go back. Let's update it. There we go. I just needed to refresh my server. Okay, so Pixel devices. Now, this is on my Pixel 9 Pro XL. Android 16 QPR1 Beta 3 has arrived. Now, let me go over the list of updates. And it was a number of bug squashes here, a number of fixes on beta. Issue with RTOS corruption that was causing restarts. My phone randomly restarted a couple days ago, so I'm glad that got fixed. Launcher not completely displaying. Some corners, some sides were cut off. That was fixed. Notification display issues, that was fixed. The media player in the notification pull down fails to fully display and function. I've had that issue. Full phone restart due to class loader issues. That was fixed. Kernel issue causing restarts. There was a lot of key and core functionality fixes with this beta update. Camera non-functional at startup with black screen. Status bar icons missing. Notification shade message folding breaks. Now, I ran into an issue. This was before I updated my phone. This is a big update. 529 megabytes. Very big update. Normally they're 79 megabytes. Normally they're 150 megabytes. Rarely do you see a beta update over 500 megabytes. That's very rare. So they fixed a lot in this. Now, before I updated my phone earlier in the week, I was very, very disappointed. I had my phone up on my dash and I was recording a video. And for the first time ever on my Pixel 9 series, my Pixel 9 Pro XL, I was recording a video. Now it's like 97 outside this week, earlier a few days ago. The camera app crashed because it said it was too hot. Now I haven't received one of those warnings since, let's see, the Pixel 7 Pro, I believe. What a bummer. I thought we were over this. And it wasn't even like over 100 degrees. I don't know what the hell's going on. The phone could have just been running hot because of the beta program, right? Again, I haven't not had the best experience. My wife's phone runs hot this past week. So hopefully this update does fix a number of things. And hopefully we can move forward. But I do have the OTAs here. If you want to flash it or you're interested in your device, best way to flash it was with the Android Flash. Well, I guess the easiest way to flash it is just through your settings application, right? But if you want to manually flash it, I don't know why you'd want to, but if you want to, I have the files right there for you. All you gotta do is click next to your device and it will automatically download. So Android Flash tool, very nice and easy. Now, I did get better numbers, better performance on my Pixel 9 Pro XL with this new update. I did run a benchmark, and if all of you have a Samsung phone or a phone with a Snapdragon 8 Elite, you're not going to think these numbers are too good, but they're pretty good, right? So where do we go from here? Let's see. In performance, I scored a 4538 in multi-core score and a 1920 in single-core score. Not the very best scores. I think when I first got this device, I know for sure it was over 2000 in single-core, but it's better than what I was getting. Again, I've had a real choppy experience. My YouTube app is real janky on the Pixel, so it's struggling, right, with this beta, but it has gotten a little better in Geekbench scores over the last couple of updates. So it seems like they're just trying to fine tune it. Battery life's been okay, not too bad. So it seems to be a solid update. I do recommend once you update, go ahead and don't wipe the phone, but wipe the cache on your phone. Meaning, go to SD Made and wipe the cache after you update it. That should help a few things. Should hopefully smoothen out the experience, right? Now, before we get out of here, I wanted to check and see. Hang on. Is everybody doing okay today? Does anybody need another case or any other? Let's see. I can certainly send another case or two if y'all want one. Oh, thanks. I remember now. If you're interested in getting a new Samsung foldable, right? So there's been some noise in regards to the Fold 7. If you go into Best Buy, hang on, before we get into this, let me see what cases I have. Give me a second. I got S23 Ultra, S24 Ultra, S25 Ultra cases. I have S25 Edge and Pixel cases. If you want one, let me know. I can send one out. No problem. If you're planning on getting a new Fold 7 or Flip 7, you can go to Best Buy and check them out, right? So there's been a little bit of controversy in regards to the Fold 7. Controversy in regards to when it's totally open, when it's totally unfolded. Now, Samsung put brand new hinges in the Fold 7 and Flip 7. Both are said to be right around, give or take, 30% smaller in size compared to the previous generation, which is a considerable amount if you just think it's just one generation, right? So if you go to Best Buy and you look at the Fold series, the Fold 7, some people are saying it does not open completely, meaning when you fold it open like a book, it's not completely flat, like it should sit completely flat on a table or on a counter when it's open, right? Some are saying it opens, so if you go from a 360-degree circle when it's closed, right, like this, when you open it up, it's not fully, it's kind of crooked, right? It doesn't lay completely flat on the Best Buy models. Now, there's a picture on Reddit, and shame on me, I should have, it just hit me. I should have uploaded the picture, but you get the point. It does not fully extend to a completely flat plane when you open it up. The Best Buy models. Some people are worried. Some people said on Reddit they canceled their pre-orders. Some are worrying and saying, well, I'm going to keep my pre-order, but I'm definitely going to check it when it comes in. So that's what I strongly encourage. Samsung is looking into it. I don't think this is going to affect a wide majority or all of the Fold 7 devices. Because I've seen some. I think Jay Will, who has a YouTube channel, I've seen his videos on the Fold 7. It opens up completely flat, right? And I think Tao, she's a YouTuber. She's a big Samsung fan. Hers opens up completely flat. So I don't know if this is just a small number of units. Maybe it's only has to do with a small production unit that does not open up fully. Maybe it's just the Best Buy models. Shit, I don't know, because they have those cords attached to the back of them. Not like you wouldn't think it would hinder you opening up the device, right? But if you did pre-order a Fold 7, again, it has not affected the Flip 7. But if you have pre-ordered the Fold 7, just make sure when you get it, it opens up completely flat. Now, if it does not for any reason, if it still looks like it could go a few degrees more, let Samsung know. Samsung should replace it under warranty. You should be able to return it. I think that, again, this is probably only a small number of units. Again, maybe it's just the Best Buy units. I have no idea. But definitely go to Best Buy and check it out if you have a Best Buy close to you. I was going to go do that, but the reason why I didn't is because I know if I went to go look at the Fold 7, I would like it so much I'd probably end up buying it. which brings me to Samsung totally reworked their numbers, their trade-in deals, and how much you can get for a Fold 7 and or your trade-in device. So if you're unaware, Samsung did switch up the trade-in values. So before, remember when they were released, we checked on that live stream where my mic went mute for like 20 minutes. In fact, let me check. That live, I think it was last week. When we went on Samsung's website, they did not allow trade-in for an S25 Ultra to be traded in towards the Fold 7. Now they allow you to trade in an S25 Ultra. Now they're giving you more money back. Or should I say, now they're giving you more money for your trade-ins. So you can trade in an S25 Ultra, and if you pre-registered, remember, if you register and they give you like $50 off towards a credit of the phone, now they're giving you $100 off with that pre-sign up deal. So they're giving you more money, so you have to pay less out of your pocket. So if you trade in an S25 Ultra towards a Fold 7, you're only going to be paying $899 now, or is it $900 somewhere in the 900 range. Before, they would not accept an S25 Ultra trade-in. You would have to trade in for the maximum trade-in value. You'd have to trade in the previous year's Fold 6, and you'd still have to pay like $1,200. Now you can trade in, and they're also giving you more money. So now you can trade in an S25 Ultra or a Fold 6, and then pay like $900 instead of having to trade in your previous year's device and then pay $1,200. So they're making the deals a little more enticing. And same thing with the Flip series. So I think I'm going to pull the trigger on a Flip 7. But thinking about it, I was not originally, because I was still going to have to come out of pocket like $700, which it's not worth it. Now, with their reworked trade-in deals and giving you more money for trade-ins and more money off for your pre-registration sign up, now I can get a Flip 7 for like $300 or $288, I think. Yes, that's a good deal. That's a freaking steal, right? So I think I'm gonna pull the trigger. I just haven't made my mind up on which color to get. Now you have up until July 25th, I believe. Don't take my word for it, but it's either the 24th or the 25th is when Samsung is stopping the trade-in deals or their pre-order deals. So just be aware. They if it's been a while since you've checked the trade-in values, since you've checked to see how much it would be to upgrade to a Flip 7 or Fold 7, go back, rework the trade-in deals, rework to see how much it would be for you to upgrade, because Samsung totally reworked that whole page, where the pre-order page. Now, why did they do that? Did they do that because their pre-order numbers were pretty low? Probably. That's what I'm guessing. I'm guessing not as many people pre-ordered as Samsung was expecting them to, and that's why they're like, well, I think Samsung was like, we need to rethink how our trade-in deals, if we want to sell a lot of these foldables, we need to entice the customers a little more to purchase these devices. And that's exactly what they did, and that's exactly what's going to work, because now I think I'm going to pull the trigger on a Flip 7. I love the Flip series. I've had every single one ever released. This year I was just going to skip it because it just didn't make sense, right? I'd have to pay $700 out of pocket, and that's with a trade-in. Nah, I'm good. It was something like that, but now $288, it's definitely worth it. So I think I will be upgrading, but I'm gonna leave it there. I gotta run. Actually got a number of things to do, so I do appreciate the time. If you did join us late, please don't miss the first half of the show. Crazy story involving Apple in a lawsuit. They are suing a YouTuber, so certainly replay if you would like, and also be sure to hit the link in the description box below if you want a case, whether you're watching this live or you're watching this on replay or you're watching this tonight or tomorrow and you missed this live. Email me, esimstudios@gmail.com. Let me know what phone you got. I'll let you know if I have a case for it, and if I do, I'll send it to you for free, just for viewing the channel. Appreciate the time. See you on the next one. Peace out.